Welcome to Alert Tales, where we dive deep into the most gripping stories of real-life experiences. If you love tales that evoke emotion, spark conversation, and connect us all, you're in the right place. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join our community for more captivating stories that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Our son, who is 2 years old, has restrictive lung disease. His lungs can't handle sickness and he ends up in the hospital when he catches something. We just came home from the hospital. My baby had a cold which turned into bronchitis and he needed the nebulizer and everything. He was there for 4 days. I stayed with my son constantly, but my husband has to work, so he came after. I remember one evening I was really exhausted and I dozed off in his lap after my son went to sleep. I woke up and he was on the phone with someone he was calling baby. I didn't move, so he kept talking. He was stroking my hair while I slept, but talking to this woman about sex and seeing her. He told her to send him a picture. I got up after he got off the phone. It obviously didn't feel good to hear those things, but I've been so worried about my son that I didn't have energy to be upset in the moment. Now that my son is better at home, I've thought about it more. No, I didn't believe my husband was 100% loyal to me before this, but I really hate he did that while our baby was sick and suffering. I don't know if I'm wrong for feeling that way, but it just feels extra wrong. How could he do that? I love my husband and our relationship works despite his ways, but this hurts my heart in a way other things haven't. Throw away for reasons. I'm a 30-year-old virgin. For context, I'm 5'11", gym regularly, take care of my grooming and hygiene, and I'd say I'm decent looking. I don't have issues talking to women or even attracting the ones I'm interested in. The problem is me. I have a 4-inch penis, and it's completely wrecked my confidence when it comes to sex. Every time things get to that point, I make an excuse to back out. I've even told women I was seeing someone else to avoid sleeping with them, which obviously wasn't true. It's not like I haven't had opportunities. I've made a woman orgasm multiple times with just my mouth, but when she went to take my belt off, I panicked and made something up. One time even a stripper offered me something extra for free and I still turned it down. Thinking back, it's ridiculous. But in those moments, the insecurity wins every time. I know where this insecurity comes from. When I was younger, it was mostly guys constantly joking about small dicks and I internalized it. Then, over time, I've noticed body shaming from women too, and that really cemented the belief that I wouldn't measure up. The crazy thing is, I know there are ways to satisfy someone without a big penis. Oral, fingers, toys, all that. I've even been close to going through with it, but then I read a post on this very subreddit that shattered me. It was a woman talking about how she missed her trash ex solely because of his big dick, even though her current partner was great in every other way, and gave her orgasms with oral, toys, etc. That post completely destroyed the little confidence I had built. I want to be clear, I'm not trying to start a gender war or complain about preferences. People are entitled to like what they like, and this is ultimately my own insecurity. I just feel stuck. I'll just wait till marriage then, I guess. No one in my life knows about this, and I guess I just needed to tell someone. Thanks for coming to my bed talk. I, a 29-year-old man, recently started dating this woman who is 28, and there's chemistry and compatibility like I haven't experienced before. There have been no deal breakers. When having the STD talk prior to kissing or having sex, she mentioned to me that she gets cold sores a few times a year but makes sure to not share things or put anyone at risk. I feel pretty dumb because I never knew that cold sores equal HSV-1. I just never put 2 and 2 together, so I thought nothing of it. We began getting intimate with each other and decided to exclusively be in a monogamous, committed relationship. A couple of weeks ago, she went on a trip and was under a lot of stress while traveling, and I noticed she had a cold sore. When looking deeper into it, I discovered that it was HSV-1 and slowly started to have a meltdown. I had a full panel STD test including HSV-1 and HSV-2 and am negative for everything. She said she'd never actually been tested for HSV before, so I kindly asked her to get a test and she agreed, no questions asked. Test results for her returned positive for HSV-1. After talking to my doctor, therapist, and so on, I asked her if she'd be willing to take a daily medication like Valtrex to protect me against transmission, and she said she doesn't feel comfortable with that. Now, I'm feeling like I have to potentially end an otherwise amazing relationship over this. I just can't get the idea out of my mind that if things don't work out between us and I do contract this, my life will be harder. It's just not something I think I'm comfortable risking, even though I know many people live with it without even knowing and most are asymptomatic. it still makes me uneasy. I'm just wondering if any women here can offer insight into the situation. I'm sick over hurting someone over something that was basically out of her control. TLDR, girlfriend has HSV-1, and I feel like I need to break up with her even though everything else is great. For 5 years, I was praying my mother-in-law would die. She has been a nightmare. My husband moved her into our house due to her disability, and my husband made me a full-time caregiver to take care of our baby and his mother. I had to leave my job to become a stay-at-home mom because daycare in my area is ridiculously expensive. Like basically my entire paycheck would be going to daycare. So I just became a stay-at-home mom since it didn't make sense financially for me to keep working. My mother-in-law lost her husband and needed someone to take care of her, not financially but mostly physically since she has disabilities. So my husband moved her into our house and she treats me like dirt. She treats me like her servant. I wiped this lady's ass for 5 years and I have never been thanked or acknowledged for anything that I do. Instead, she criticizes me, tells me I'm fat, and she just always complains about everything from the food I cook her to how I'm doing everything wrong. I cook for her, I bathe her, remind her about her medications, and I take her to all the doctor's appointments. I literally help with everything she needs every day. Not to mention, I'm a full-time stay-at-home mom to our child who is on the spectrum. I go to the Gurdwara every Sunday and I've prayed every time for her death. It finally happened. On August 13th, 2024, I was set free. My husband doesn't know I prayed for her death. That is a secret I'm taking to the grave.